Hi everyone. Today, a very interesting topic and very important topic from the sociology we are going to study. That is what is called the social groups. And also today our main focus will be on the primary group and the secondary group, which is the common questions will be there in your exams of sociology. Okay. So what is group? A group is a number of people, of course more than two or many, having a good communications, a connections or intimacy in between each other. Either they have a direct or indirect communications, or else sometimes they may have blood relations or may not, but their intention, their aim, their objectives will be some specific objectives with some specific intention, and also they have same motives towards achieving something goals. That's called group. From the day one of the human life, a human will be surrounded by the groups. Of course, when we born in a family, in a specific religion, we call it as a group. Example, the groups which is closest enough, the group which have a blood relations, the group which have a closest intimacy, physical proximity is very close, so that call the primary group. Example, I will say family. It is the best example for the primary group. When it comes to the secondary group, it means according to the nature, when it comes to the secondary group, let me explain you very clearly. When a child grows up, they goes to school, they goes to college, they goes to university, they goes to the office for their work purpose. So that time they will mingle with a large number of people. They may have a face-to-face communications, or sometimes they may not, but they have a same goal that they want to pass in the exams. The entire group have a same intention. They want to complete the course successfully. They want to get a good job in the future, and when they will get the job in the future, they will be working for an office or for any particular institutions or any organization's purpose. So the organization infrastructure and the rules, the group has to be followed, correct? And their motives is, of course, or their aim, there is a specific or aim of that particular group. They may not have a blood relations, they may not have a direct or the depth intimacy, but their motive is always same, and they follow certain rules, regulation, and their number of the people will be very much more. So these are called the secondary groups. Now, according to the motives, I can say the groups are divided into four types, or also according to the relationship, the groups are divided into four types. These are unsocial groups. It means this group of people, they does not wants to mingle with the society. Example, tribe. A tribe is a people, a group of people, they have a following of old traditions method, and they don't want to mingle with the society, and they stay far away from the social connections. So that is also a group, but that is unsocial group. They are not that much social. Second thing, pseudo social group. Pseudo means false, but here the false meaning is something different. It means these are some groups, they will engage themselves with other groups so they can satisfy their motives, they can achieve their goals. That is called the pseudo social groups or pseudo groups. Next thing, anti-social groups. Anti means against, social means against the society. Example, a group of people who especially do the destructive mechanism in the society. Example, dacoit, example, theft, example, robbery, example, doing all the attacks, okay, bomb blast and all. There are some group of people, they don't want to engage themselves in the society, so that's why they want to do a crime and they want to do something destructions, public property is damage. These groups is the motive of their public property damage and public harm. So these are the anti-social groups. And then pro-social groups, of course these are the groups which is actually work for the social welfare. So they have a aim, they have an object that we have to do certain things for our society. So these people, they work voluntarily basis for the society. Okay, so according to the relationship, uh, or according to the motives, the groups are divided into four types. Okay, first one we have studied according to the nature, that is the primary and the secondary. According to the uh, relationship or the motives, groups are divided into four types. Now, according to the structure, groups are divided into three types of subclassified. That is involuntary group, voluntary group, and delegate groups. Involuntary group are the group of people who rarely active, okay, and they have a less communications, and very few or often time they will engage into some particular activity, and during that activity time only they will be form the groups. Apart from that, they may not have that continuations of the group. But in the other hand, the voluntarily group is also similar to the pro-social group. They have a group which will be remain constant maximum time, or their durations of the period is longer than the involuntary group. And this voluntary group of people, they also have a motive towards the social welfare. They are the voluntary group. Example, I will say, let's take a classical example, Red Cross. Okay, Indian Red Cross. These are the voluntary basis group. Also, it is sponsored by right now so many things, but initially they were a group of voluntary group. Next is the delegate group. A delegate group is a particular type of group in which the group member, usually the group characteristic is every group member will have their point, and group will must have a rules and regulation that their personal satisfaction will be suppressed by the group motives. Okay, so delegate group is the one kind of group in which a group members, they will select a person as a leader. So that leader will take all the valuable points from the each member, and after that the leader, what they will do, they will prioritize the points and they will form the active members points, and what they will do, those points has to be applied in the society for any particular purpose. That's called the delegate group. But of course, delegate groups definitely, they will have a positive motives towards the society. Very rarely in cases there are some negative impact has been seen, but their main aim is to give some positive activity to the society. So now let's focus on the main actual topic, that is called the primary group and the secondary group. So which is the classifications of the group according to the nature. First of all, when I say primary group, these are the group in which a very less number of people will be there. They have a close intimacy, they have a close relations, they have a face-to-face communications, dominance will be there of a senior persons, and of course the communications or the impact is so effective and the quick among the members. So what is the characteristic of these groups that we have already studied? Now what is the function of the primary group? It is also very very important. Primary group, classical example you take, that is the family. An individual human being, their attitude, their growth, development, their educations, their social value learning, their moral value learning is all depend upon the family. Correct? So whenever child grows up in the family, their mother, their father, their grandparents or their seniors take care of those childs, and when they grow up in the society, they learn what is good, what is bad. So individually is helping. Second, it is also helping for continuation of the generations with the same value or the attitude towards the society. They also provide the comfort and courage to individual, and they act as an social control agents. Okay, now let's talk about the secondary group. It is just the opposite of the primary group. Secondary group are the people, there will be having more and more number. Classical example you take, that is the political party. Any political parties, the member of the political party may be throughout the country or throughout the state, but they might not have a direct face-to-face communications, or they might not have even the relations, correct, or they may not have a direct well-known communications or the relations, and their motives or their formations of the group especially to satisfy any purpose. Okay, without purpose that group will never be formed. Example, any political parties. So what is the benefit of the secondary group? Secondary group will teach a person's how to behave formal, because secondary group communications is especially the formal communications. But in the other hand, if you see the primary group, they have a casual or non-formal way of communication. But secondary group people, you see example in office, correct, a 10 member or 15 or 20 members is working for one project. So in office, of course, during project time, of course, the way of communications with the senior employee or the junior employee is a very formal in nature, correct? So secondary group have a very formality behavior, formal attitude, a formal learning, and of course the formal way of communications. They have a wider outlook, and they opens the channel for individual growth, individual motives, individual satisfactions of work, and also they teach about the cooperations among the members. Of course, when a political parties they formed, they need a proper cooperations between all the members. Otherwise, the political party will be collapse. Correct? Same thing. So secondary groups also teach individual about the cooperations rather than conflict, because conflict is there, it will increase the fight or the argument nature. But when the secondary group will be formed, so they'll be taught about the cooperations type of attitude. Okay, and also they make a wide range of connections among the members. Yes, secondary group is a very large group. So when I am sitting in West Bengal or I'm sitting in any other state, I can communicate also with the other state member, correct, because it's a very large group of member. So of course the wider range of communications also will be there through the secondary group. It is a very easiest topic. So when they ask you the question that what is the group, you have to give the definition, you have to give the characteristics, you have to give the types, and then you have to explain the primary group and secondary group if they have asked you in the question paper. Okay, so I think hope you understood the content. Now the notes has included after this video. Please take a screenshot. Thank you.